Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now October 10th of 2023, and given that those out there like Disney are embracing more failures to arrive throughout the rest of this year into 2024, such as the Marvels, the Snow White live-action remake, and even the Acolyte series, which by the way, is being created by Kathleen Kennedy and showrunner Leslie Headland, that is going to divert from George Lucas's Star Wars and to really build something from the ground up that's gonna break canon and break the rules and traditions of the franchise. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Kathleen Kennedy is that she has been very forward and direct with everyone around the globe about her mission, and that is to unburden herself from George Lucas's philosophy of Star Wars. She has openly stated that they are going to continue, and she'll talk about this a little bit later, that they are going to continue to shift away from the known galaxy that all Star Wars fans grew up with to embrace a new one, to break the traditions of Star Wars and to give them unlimited possibilities of what they could do. Now, to top this all off, Kathleen Kennedy had a number of things to say against the ongoing AHSOKA ratings that are really not looking too impressive based on the Nielsen ratings, and the ongoing AHSOKA backlash. We know that there's a lot of fans out there, including myself, that was not really satisfied with this show, not even impressed. I felt like the writing was just subpar, the acting was subpar, there's a lot of plot holes here and there, and let's not forget about the whole Sabine Wren situation, getting the Force like it's the turn on of a switch, much like Rey was in The Force Awakens, with little to no training at all. Now, looking at everything here, we know that Kathleen Kennedy had a number of things to say. With Disney currently in a very delicate position with their franchises like Marvel and Star Wars, one major development has to do with Kathleen Kennedy and her reaction to the ongoing AHSOKA backlash and the ratings. Kennedy went on to deliver the following. We here at Lucasfilm have come to the conclusion that those that have been unsatisfied with our latest AHSOKA series are nothing more than a minority, creating tons of unnecessary noise to ruin this satisfaction for others. We are proud of Dave Filoni's work, and we will continue to push our journey with him on other projects. For us as creators like writers, producers, and directors, we feel it's best to ignore the fans, especially the ones that are loud and opinionated. We feel it's best to focus on the creators instead, and let the creators focus on themselves. We insist that many of those hearing the latest from the trades about AHSOKA performing poorly with the ratings, I feel need to do more research because we have seen nothing but phenomenal reports with this show. This supposed pushback from fans we have made clear to ourselves is nothing to worry about and is of no concern and is no different than what we dealt with the sequel trilogy movies, in which it's just a small group of individuals that are overly demanding with our projects, asking for impossible tasks to be made with our stories and direction from our creators. Now, let me just say one thing about Kathleen Kennedy, guys, before I get to the next big thing that she mentions here that I think is a deal breaker. The fact that she is comparing this to the sequel trilogy when it comes to how she viewed the backlash as a minority with the sequel movies is ludicrous. It is insanity. It goes to show you that she will never own her mistakes. She will never admit failure. She will never, ever admit that the fans are right. And yeah, sure, she has made apologies before in the past that were very much unrealistic and fake, and really had an agenda behind those supposed apologies that she made about Indy 5, the sequels, and even Kenobi, and it's a never-ending vicious cycle. You know, it's always like a sorry, but not sorry type of response by Kathleen Kennedy. Rinse and repeat. Now, the thing about this is that she is saying to not trust the trades, out there about the latest ratings reports of AHSOKA, and especially among people that have been unsatisfied with this show. Everybody that I know that are real big Star Wars fans of Rebels, or even just regular fans of the original trilogy, did not like this show. They did not like the finale at all. They felt that the finale was the worst episode of all. there is a lot of people out there that are very unhappy. Now, sure, some people out there like this show. I'm not saying that this show is, 100%, but I feel most people are very unsatisfied with the direction of this series. If not, people have at least some kind of problem with it in some of the episodes. So Kathleen Kennedy is really just doubling down on this nonsense that it's a minority and not a majority. Rotten Tomatoes, I know it's not the best site to go by, but it gives you a rough idea. It just goes to show you that there's a large portion of fans out there that are unhappy with this series, much like Kenobi and much like Mando Season 3, which had similar ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's an interesting comparison. Now, on top of that, she goes on to elaborate. The endless unnecessary drama from these fans should be ignored, especially by those that are satisfied with our products, and we can promise everyone that we will deliver with the accolade. We see no reason for those out there that believe that the AHSOKA ratings are performing poorly. If Mr. Iger is satisfied, then I am too with this project. And though a Season 2 is something that's not locked in yet, and something that we really don't know if we want to pursue right now, we will keep our fans updated on that in the months to come. We felt it was necessary to move away from George's material and his philosophy of Star Wars in order to embrace a new one. This is why we are shifting to a new galaxy and multiple stories ahead of us for the future of Disney Plus, including our series, Skeleton Crew, which we intend to release next year. Now guys, we talked about Skeleton Crew. This was a show that was delayed to ongoing problems on set, and to, of course, reshoots that are needed, and how the strikes really kind of created a big pause on that. So now, the plan is for Skeleton Crew to arrive around January of 2024 as opposed to November of this year. So it got a very big delay, so to speak. It's not going to be a big show to begin with. It's a very small scale one, but it is going to touch into only focusing, or at least a large portion of it, focusing on a new galaxy to break the rules and traditions. Now, Kathleen Kennedy, again, does not want to admit the fact that there are tons of fans out there that have a problem with this show. It's either fans have an issue with Sabine Wren getting the Force so easily, or the finale being very subpar, or Baylan Skoll's overall mission in the show never being fully explained. I mean, there's a lot of plot holes in here, and there's a lot of subpar writing and acting that's just atrocious in my opinion. I'm just speaking from the truth here. That's my honest reaction to this show. I'm not impressed. I'm not satisfied. Will say I was more satisfied than Mando Season 3, or maybe even the Kenobi series, but it's still bad in my opinion. That's just my take on things. So, respect my opinion, I respect yours, that's how it goes, right? So, what's interesting about this, though, is that Kathleen Kennedy is going to keep doubling down with the accolade. That show is going to be a disaster, I can assure you. We have a lot more to talk about that show, by the way, in the weeks to come. So overall, guys, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon we hear